We're here at the very first Lamb Summit. We're out at the Colorado State University sheep unit in the background. This is their agricultural teaching facility. And with me right now is Dale Thorne. Dale is a sheep producer from Michigan, and he is chairman currently of the American Lamb Board. So Dale, so far, how do you like the summit?
I think it's been great. A lot of the information that we shared so far today is information that we see at the American Lamb Board all the time. We're very in tune with our consumers, and so we know how to direction our message as we try and promote American lamb and get consumers to eat more of it.
So Dale, you just came out of the Global Perspective session. Tell me about that. What did you hear that you want other producers to know?
There are some really interesting facts that came out of the UK. For instance, the people that they market their lamb to is a completely opposite age group than what we have in the US. Their older population is where most of their lamb is being consumed in the UK, and their younger population not so much. Here in the US, it's almost the reverse. I just found that to be very, very fascinating.
And do you think that the American lamb industry is in for some changes?
I certainly hope it's in for changes. We have a lot of inefficiencies in our system, both from producers, feeders, and even packers. And we're hoping through this program today that we can expose those inefficiencies and give ideas and suggestions and technology on how to improve upon all aspects of that.
I know that you have some family that's looking perhaps to go into the sheep industry. Is there hope for us out here?
There's always hope, okay? In a time when markets are very volatile, there's been a fairly steady market in the sheep industry. Being from Michigan and close to Detroit, we have a great market for our lamb and the Muslim population that resides in Detroit, and we cater to that market. We understand what the consumer wants. We try to breed our sheep and feed them in such a way that produces the lamb that they're looking for. And so going forward, I just see all kinds of opportunities for the American lamb.
Dale, in this global session that you were just sitting in on, can you tell me what is different in how they raise sheep in Australia, New Zealand, and the UK that you think is worth producers thinking about here in the US?
Thanks to the American Lamb Board and invitations from the various countries you just mentioned, I've had an opportunity to travel to those countries and to see firsthand their production systems. The thing that always stands out to me the most is how much more efficient they are in every aspect, from genetics to actual production, feeding, and harvesting of their product. And so I just hope that we can get the American producer to understand that we have a lot of room for growth in our industry as far as improving those efficiencies. So I've seen it firsthand, and I know we can do it because we're Americans and we just pull up our bootstraps and get it done.
So what you're telling me is one of the biggest differences that you have seen is how our foreign competitors at this point are using technologies and tools to try to increase efficiencies.
Absolutely. And another thing that they're doing, and doing it far better than we are in the US, is they are providing a more consistent product. We have a lot of variability within the sheep industry in the United States, a lot of different breeds, a lot of different feeding systems, and even a very diverse consumer group. And so it's been a challenge for us to compete on a global basis with those foreign import products because of their consistency. So there's a lot of room for us to grow in that area.
I want to summarize something that we just got a message from somebody says, now let's get it done.
Absolutely. And in my welcome this morning to the group, I suggested that each presenter that presents something try to find that one thing that you can take home to your operation and put it to work immediately to make a change and make your operation more efficient. And so I hope that people are thinking that way and they find something they can take home.
But you summarize for people why you're doing this Lamb Summit.
The idea really was created as some of the American producers have traveled overseas. Australia does a Lamb X, and they do it every other year. And we've had an opportunity to see what it looks like on a large scale, bringing producers in, sharing research information with them, sharing genetic improvements, equipment that's available to be used, technology that's available to be used. And we just thought, man, wouldn't it be great if we could do something like that back in the U.S. And so the Lamb Summit idea was started a year ago, and this is our first shot at it. So far, I think we've done a great job. I look for it to grow and to be just as large as what we've seen in Australia.